Hey y'all, today I'm going to do a little bit of a different video. I know it's been a very long time since I posted anything on my channel, and that would be because a lot of crazy things have happened in my life in the past almost year since I posted. It's not because I haven't wanted to, because I definitely do want to be involved in YouTube and the community. But you know, just sometimes things happen and you have to put your dreams on hold. So I just am gonna kind of be a little bit vulnerable right now and give y'all a little bit of an update, story, whatever you want to call it, about the things that have happened to me since June of 2015. So if you're interested in watching this, interested in watching something other than PCOS, then go ahead and stay tuned. Otherwise, you can catch me on the next video, which will be an update about the PCOS. So basically, first things first, June 26th, 2015, I had back surgery. It was an L4 to S1 decompression. So that's basically my lower back. I needed to have a fusion done, but because I was young, they don't like to do them under the age of 35 on patients unless if the first surgery they do doesn't correct the problem. So leading up to having that surgery, I was in severe pain for about a solid 2 years. The last year before surgery, I felt like I had the flu every single day. I mean, it was miserable, horrible, ungodly pain that I endured every day. After I had the surgery done, I thought, oh, I'm going to feel some kind of immediate relief. That was not the case. A lot of people say that after they have the surgery that they do feel immediate relief, but not for me. It wasn't because the doctor did anything wrong. It's just because my back is in such bad shape that I needed longer time to recover. A lot of people think that whenever you are younger, aka in your 20s, I was 20, how old was I whenever I had it? I was 27. Yes, 27 or 28 whenever I had it done. So, you know, I was on the younger side, but the problem is that most of the time people that are older end up recovering faster from these surgeries. I'm not really sure what that has to do with. I'm not a doctor. I don't study medicine. All I can think is that whenever people are older, maybe their bones and things like that are broken down a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe it's easier for them to recover that way. I don't know. But it took me a long time. It took me about 6 months to finally wake up and go, oh my gosh, I feel okay. So that first 3 months after surgery was horrible. Couldn't work, couldn't do anything besides go to physical therapy. Basically, I had to really help myself get better. I had to put in the work, which a lot of people forget that you have to do that. After you have surgery, it's not just, it's going to solve itself. You have to put the work in to better yourself. A doctor can only do so much. So anyways, so after I had the surgery and things started to get a little bit better as far as my physical problems were going, me and my husband, our relationship just like was not working out. So I ended up leaving him in the beginning of November 2015. I left him, then I got my apartment, this apartment, in December. So December 1st, 2015. And then I was here for all of 2016. And so, yeah. So leading on to that, so I ended up going back to work in December, hustled, you know, worked really, really, really hard to keep my head above water. We're talking like literally working my butt off because, you know, you're trying to make it. You've gone from, you know, working a lot to not being able to work physically and then going back to work, not having any money. It's like, it's crazy. Anyway, so I went back. Things finally started to start working out. You know, I started to gain a lot of my clients back. Just things just seemed to be getting a lot better. And I did have my ups and downs because I was so used to the stability of like having the same place to go every day, my house and my husband and my making dinner and, you know, doing things like that. And whenever you go from that to working all the time and not knowing whenever you can make it home and things like that, it's just like, it's totally different. It throws you off a little bit. Side note, my husband and I were together for almost 8 years. So there's that. Anyways, so leading on to 2016, April 29th, 2016, I woke up that morning and I just was having just this weird feeling. I thought that it was because my birthday was in the next couple of days and I was kind of getting upset that I was, you know, single and don't have kids and things like that. And I was just like kind of sad. I thought that I was just like having a sad morning. But I was like, okay, you got to get it together. You got to get ready. You got to go to work. So I just pulled it together, got dressed, went to work, just started to have a good day. I was working on my second client, cutting her hair, mid-haircut. Receptionist tells me I have a phone call. I said, can you please take a message? She comes back and says, no, it's your dad, and he's upset. He says that it's urgent. So I told my client to please hold, you know, I'll be right back. I go to the front of the salon. Mind you, this is a Friday morning. We're busy. I go up to the front, answer the phone, and it's my dad telling me that my brother had died. Yeah. So I just started screaming and ran outside. I didn't even realize that I was still standing in the salon screaming. I just dropped the phone and went outside and just started freaking out, like screaming and crying and cussing and, you know, that whole thing. After his death, there were a few more traumatic things that had happened. That was really, really hard for me. I literally was just not even here. Like, I was here, but I wasn't here. And anyone that's ever dealt with grieving and going through something traumatic will understand that. It's very hard to explain. I did suffer with PTSD after that. I still kind of do every now and then if I do meet up with friends and we're in public and all of a sudden I'll be saying, I'm sorry, I gotta go. And they'll say, where are you going? And my answer is always, I don't know. I just don't want to go here anymore. I don't want to be here. So PTSD is real. It is very, very real and very hard to understand and deal with. So after my brother had passed away and going through that, I immediately started going to counseling afterwards. Because, you know, you have to talk to people about it. You have to get it off your chest, because whenever you go through things like that, you really don't know what to do, and you start to feel like you're going to make decisions that are irrational, like as far as work related things go, and just decision making in general is very, very hard to do whenever you go through things like that. So, the family, it was very, very hard on all of our family. We kind of were working through it, and then I had planned to go on a little mini vacation with one of my friends, her boyfriend, and a few other friends. Couldn't really afford to go, but they had kind of had it set up to where I was able to go and it would be inexpensive. So we were supposed to go to Vegas, and I have never been anywhere on vacation as an adult. I've only been places younger, like teenager, and anytime I've ever taken time off work and to go out of town was to go visit family, and that's not the same, you can't really just like do whatever you want. You're spending your whole time with your family. So we had it all planned. It was a day before we were leaving. I had gotten off of work. I went right next door to my job to get a pedicure, and my aunt, who was going to be taking me to the airport the next day, called me, and I answered thinking she was going to ask me about, the next day, which was Sunday, and, the plans and stuff. And when I answered the phone, she was just like screaming and crying, and I just immediately froze, and I could hear her saying my grandma's name and her birthday, and I knew right then that she had passed away. So it was just bad. That was in August. That was the end of August. So both of these deaths in my family were sudden. It was just completely out of the blue. So it was extremely shocking, especially in that moment for me, thinking, you have one emotion that you're excited about something, like going out of town or getting away from all the things that have been going on and getting your mind off of things, and then something else happens. That was really mind screwy with me. So after that happened, we were all just in shock. We didn't know what to do. My grandparents were married for 61 years. He was my grandpa. He's the one that has like more health problems. My grandma didn't even have a regular doctor because she didn't have any health problems. So it was just really random, and you're just grieving one loss, and then just 4 months later you have another big loss. Mind you, in the same house, separate bedrooms. They both died in their sleep. So within 4 months I watched my brother and my grandma be brought out of a house, gone on a stretcher. And that was just, that's a lot to take in. That's a lot to take in, especially whenever I've never experienced losing people that are that close. I have had losses in my family, but whenever I was younger. So whenever you're an adult, I feel like whenever you haven't gone through tragedies and losses and grieving, things like that, you don't process it the same. You kind of have a different relationship with these people. You've had a child relationship growing up, like, just like not a mature relationship. And then the older you get, you just form more of a bond, and it's just a really weird experience whenever you haven't lost anyone before, and then out of nowhere you lose two big people in your life. So anyways, so that's basically the big things that have happened, and that's a lot of the reason why I haven't been on this channel. It's not that I don't want to be. I do want to be on here. I do appreciate everybody that is on here that comments and likes and, you know, posts things. It is kind of difficult for me whenever people post ugly comments, even though there's like little bitty things. It just bothers me because, you know, there's just so much more to life than getting on the internet and trolling people. I mean, really, there really is. I feel like everybody should be happy for one another and uplift one another and always be a voice of encouragement, because you never know what people are going through, especially being alone, single. I have a lot more to my family dynamic than just those things that have happened. So, you know, I think that's just important that everybody is just kind to one another regardless. Because like I said, you never know what's going on in somebody's head or their day-to-day life. So, you know, there's that. As far as my PCOS and things like that go, I have been doing very well with it. I'm still doing the same stuff. Lately, I have been kind of, how do I say, broke in a very nice way. I've been financially burdened, I guess you can say. So I haven't really been able to afford to purchase like super healthy stuff all the time. So I will say that I've just been really cutting back on eating a lot because the things I have to choose from are not very healthy. Yeah. So besides that, I just wanted to put this out there because I know that there's got to be at least somebody out there that watches this stuff that has to know, you know, what it's like to go through it. I can definitely go into the different situations and break them down a little bit more for you. I don't know if you would even care to even hear, you know, everything that kind of went into it, but, you know, if you do, then I'll let you know. But I do have some positive things that have happened. I have been doing a lot more modeling type things, and that's crazy, good crazy. I don't know, it's kind of like weird. I always kind of dreamed that I would be some, you know, like model or spokesperson or somebody that was able to use a platform to speak to people. And I'm hoping that one day I can be there and do that. I think that would be awesome. But it's crazy the way that things work out in life, isn't it? It's weird. It's weird in a good way. I don't know. Anyways, so also I live right outside of Houston, and I was asked or given an invitation to go to the Maxim party for the Super Bowl. So that's a big deal. I felt like that was such a big accomplishment, even though it's not even going to be a paid gig. It's just like, you know, you show up, you get to go. But I feel very like blessed, very grateful that to have that kind of an opportunity. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I don't know. I actually do have right now I have like an equal shitty stuff to good stuff. And I know that eventually the shitty stuff will be not as prominent. So it is starting to kind of go away, but I'm looking forward to good things, positive people, positive actions, all that good stuff. And I really hope that I didn't get off subject of my non-subject during this video. If you enjoyed watching this, or if you like to hear me talk, I can talk a lot. So I hope that this video doesn't seem like I'm really sad or anything, because I'm really not. I'm just being 100% vulnerable, open, honest, and loving, and all of the above. So I hope y'all are having a good 2017 so far. And if you aren't, just remember you have to stay positive up here. Even if you're not verbally saying things that are negative, it all happens in here. If you walk around saying, my life, I hate my life, then it's not going to change. You have to just tell yourself in a realistic way, yeah, my life's kind of crazy, but I know that good things are gonna happen, and that's just the way that it is. Or, you know, not getting so upset about little things that happen, just kind of blowing it off and reminding yourself that there's people out there that have a lot more going on. And I know I've had a lot go on, but there's people that have had even more than me. You know, people are losing their jobs, losing everything they have. So we just have to be thankful for what we have today, and have some kind of goal set, and know that, you know, if we don't get to that goal, that's okay. That's okay. We'll do something else. So I hope that everybody has a blessed day, and I will be getting back to you soon. I love you all, and goodbye.